I've talked about the density, and it's something that I would encourage all farmers to start measuring. Firstly, because we're seeing in the farming press and in various places calculators to enable us to calculate how much feed we have left. Most of these calculators take book values, which unfortunately are incorrect. So if we measure the density, we can actually start to calculate how much forage we've got in our silage clamps. Secondly, whilst there's nothing you can do this year about poor density silage, what you can do is look where you have weaknesses in density and then think about how next year, when you fill your clamp, you can reduce that variation. And that's important for a number of reasons. Where we have poor density, it's often where we have more aerobic spoilage. And when we have aerobic spoilage, that heat that we see in the clamp is actually energy evaporating into the atmosphere, and it's reducing the energy content of that particular part of our silage clamp. It's also increasing the variability in our silage quality as we go across the feed face. For instance, if you measure the density at the edges of the clamp near the walls and it's half what it is in the middle, you need to think about the way you consolidated that clamp. And often on farms, they're not getting close enough to the wall. They should be putting a ramp up against the wall when they're filling so that actually they're consolidating better down that wall. And maybe they need to consider putting even smaller layers next to the wall when they're consolidating. The second thing is, when we think about how we fill a clamp, we go from left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left. Actually, we're consolidating the middle section twice to every time we consolidate the edge. And if we consolidate the edge better, the middle, to a degree, will look after itself. The other thing is, and what I found in surveys funded by AHDB and various other people, that one side of a clamp is often less dense than the other. So if you think about the way you're filling, where you're consolidating one way, you're probably going in forwards. Where you're consolidating next to the other wall, you're possibly reversing. And you can probably see the wall more clearly out of one of the sides of the tractor cab than the other. So maybe we need to consider which one we've got better view and turning our tractors round when we're consolidating so that we've got a good view of the wall so that we can get closer.